Regressive taxation means that you take the need for revenue away from the wealthiest people and you transfer it onto the people who probably can't afford it as much. So a primary example of that would be parking in Los Angeles. Recently, a few of my friends came to visit me, and when they parked in the wrong spot, of course they got a parking ticket. And parking tickets in Los Angeles are more expensive today than they ever have been. Former Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa actually increased the prices of parking violations because he knew that Los Angeles needed more revenue. Why does Los Angeles need more revenue? Well, back in 1978, something known as Prop 13 passed, and it's been very, very destructive to California as a whole, and it's been really, really destructive to Los Angeles specifically. Because of Prop 13, property taxes in California were capped to 1%. So we missed out on a ton of revenue as a result. In fact, if you look back at fiscal year 2009, we actually missed out on $528 billion in tax money, and that has hurt our public schools. It has hurt other social services that are supposed to help benefit the middle class and the working class. Now, a way to make up for that revenue is to create more parking violations, more citations, and have a police force that focuses primarily on giving out tickets for traffic violations as opposed to focus on violent crime in Los Angeles. So all of a sudden we see really, really expensive parking fines, people having to deal with really, really confusing signs. In fact, recently LA Weekly wrote this great article about how we are making more and more money off of parking violations than ever before. To give you some examples, in fiscal year 2007 to 2008, parking citations generated about $128 million. Fast forward to fiscal year 2011 to 2012, all of a sudden we're making $153 million. In that year, we actually issued 2.65 million tickets, and you also have to keep in mind that Los Angeles has a population of 4 million people. So this is not the right way to go if you're trying to generate revenue for a county. You shouldn't transfer the cost onto the middle class and the working class. You should focus on doing the taxation that makes sense. And what I mean by that is, don't cap property taxes at 1%, especially if there's clear evidence indicating that it's destructive to your county, it's destructive to the state as a whole. Also, make sure that the wealthiest individuals in the state aren't paying less in taxes than the middle class and the working class. We talk about wealth inequality a lot on the show, and obviously we see that the wealthiest people hoard their money, they don't use the money to create more jobs. It's been really, really bad for our economy. We've had case study after case study indicating that. And it's really time that we shift attention back to our public schools, to social services, and the programs that help give Americans opportunities to live better lives. I hate the idea that we're now penalizing Americans for the stupid legislation that's been proposed by the wealthiest people in this country. So I'm totally against the parking violations. It's a really, really big pet peeve of mine. I've definitely talked about it a lot on the show before, and we should focus our attention back to issues like Prop 13. I should also note that we need a 2/3 majority in order to reverse Prop 13 or to even increase taxes in California, and that's a problem as well. So what we need are real politicians that focus on real issues like this, so you and I don't have to deal with stupid parking tickets.